Thank you for joining us today in the STL TV studio. I am Sarah Bernard, and I am so excited that in our studio today we have Alderman Gregory Carter from the 27th Ward, and he is here to talk to us about a neighborhood infrastructure project on Goodfellow that's new and exciting. Correct. And tell us a little bit about it. When did it start, and what's the plan? Well,
it started 4 years ago when I applied for what we call STPS dollars. These are federal dollars. And as an alderman, you try to repair as much infrastructure as possible, meaning your main thoroughfares, your sidewalks, your sewers, your main arterial streets. I did one on Riverview about 4 years ago, I believe.
Okay.
So Riverview was done. I'm working on Goodfellow, and the next project would be West Florissant.
So why is this a priority? Why, as an alderman, this is top of your list to do the infrastructure?
Because when you come through any community, you want to enhance the curb appeal. Right. You want to make sure when people drive through that they see a nice community.
Right.
And as basic as this may sound, streets and sidewalks are very important when you drive through a community,
right,
as well as the landscaping.
So what was the condition of this area before you started?
Well, actually, back in the early 80s, the previous alderman did Goodfellow between Lillian up to McLaren.
Okay.
Past McLaren down to the circle, there was absolutely nothing done. As curves, people had bricks.
Yeah,
to
that probably goes way back, yeah.
Yeah. So what I wanted to do was not only redo that section up in there, but redo everything, curbs, sidewalks, landscaping, and I wanted to do more than just asphalting. I wanted to make sure that concrete, because that's more of a level area in this portion of my ward.
So this started about a year ago when you actually got the trucks in there and started the work?
Yes,
okay.
yes. It started, in fact, it started not a year, it started exactly around April or May.
Okay, so not quite a year, but it was several years before that you started
absolutely.
Sourcing the funding and getting this on the list. Okay.
These are federal dollars.
Right.
You have to start early in order to get federal dollars.
Right.
In fact, it took every bit of 4 years to implement this project from start to finish.
That's amazing. And we're going to talk in a minute about what the next thing is that you're working on 4 years from now.
Absolutely.
So back to this project.
Yes.
So where are you at? About when do you expect it to be completed, and what's been done so far? What can residents and business owners see?
Well, the residents have been very patient.
Yeah.
When you go into a community such as a residential area, you have a lot of things you're dealing with. A lot of people think, similar to asphalting, you grind it up and pour it down. Well, with concrete, you have to move sewers, you have to move telephone wiring, Leclerc gas, MSD, water. You have to move all of this, and when you open it up, a lot of things are busted up, so you have to repair them.
Yeah,
and then you have to do it in sections. You got to keep the flow going. Main Street, such as Goodfellow, is a main thoroughfare. You have to make sure that you don't just block the whole street off.
Right.
So we did it in sections.
Right, because you have businesses and residents in that area. Okay.
Exactly.
And so what were the people that live there and work there today, what was their input into the process? Were they involved, or?
Yes. In the beginning, we had a meeting up at this conference center, Bishop Willie Ellis Conference Center. And what I did, I had the architects bring out the drawings, the basic drawings, before they were finalized. We put a flyer out on all the homes in the Goodfellow Strip, which is from from the Circle all the way down to Lillian. And we had a nice showing of people. People gave their input, what they wanted to see.
They're probably pretty excited this is going on in their neighborhood.
Yes. We did Riverviews. We wanted to make sure we get Goodfellow done.
Right.
But they gave some input. We did some changes from their input. And from there, it took an additional maybe, year? 8 months to a year? Yes.
Wow.
Yes, because things are very slow in government.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wish they were a little faster, but unfortunately, you're dealing with federal and
city money. You got to be patient in your job.
You have to be very patient. I'm a little frustrated at times, but in order to get it done right, you want to make sure that the drawings are done. You have to put flyers out. You have to make sure that you have some senior citizens in the area. You must prepare to move them, because when you dig out their driveways, we had several of my senior citizens. We had to actually help them get out of their homes.
Every day, or?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And one of the residents left for a week, which was a great, great thing for them. Yes. But other than that, it seems as though it's taken a while, but it's really not.
Oh yeah,
it's really not.
Yeah. Well, it's long, but not probably in your world.
Yes.
So now we've got new sidewalks and curbs and streets and landscaping. Tell us a little bit about that. I know that's a special interest of yours.
Yeah. Landscaping is very important. What I did, I took out all the trees. We had old pin oaks that were busting up sewer lines,
Right.
growing out into the street over the
These
curb.
trees had to be, what, 100 or more
I
years
wouldn't say
old?
100, but they every bit of 50, 60 years old.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make sure that residents, that they didn't have that issue when we redid all of this, this curb work. And once we start the landscaping, we want to make sure that we put out smaller trees, but more of a decorative tree. And we have an island there, right at McLaren and Goodfellow. We want to make sure that that's decoratively done, you know, aesthetically done. We have the City of St. Louis Forestry Division taking care of that. And again, it's nothing major. I would like to put something more there, but pouring concrete in this section of my ward took a lot of the money.
Okay.
And I wanted concrete for a lot of reasons. It's there for 30 years, unlike asphalt. The asphalt, the reason why we did that, because we're still constantly digging out busted sewers, you know, lateral breaks, and it's a hill there.
They're old, is that
They're
why?
very old, very, very, very old. And I've been doing, since I've been in office, 2 to 3 digs on Goodfellow, just with lateral breaks, for at least 18 years.
Wow, 2 to 3 per year.
Per year for the past 18 years.
Okay, so that's just a matter of turning that plumbing over.
Yes, yes, very old, yeah, very old.
So the asphalt is temporary enough that if you have to dig, it's easy to repair. Is that correct?
Correct,
Okay.
correct. But we're going to dig all the way down to the gravel. We're going to dig some of that out.
Yeah.
I think it's a 4-inch instead of like a 1-inch layer of asphalt. We're putting at least 4 inches in of asphalt.
So you plan to be done with this area, this particular strip, about when? This spring?
Yeah. Unfortunately, with asphalt, you must have warm weather.
Right.
And
which we have right now.
Yeah, we have some unseasonable weather right now for this being the winter. I did send a letter to BPS requesting them to look at the weather over the next 2 weeks, because you got to have above freezing for concrete, and see if we can take this on the other side of McLaren at Goodfellow, wrap that up, and then whenever the warm weather hits, we can dig up Goodfellow. It'll only take them maybe a week to do that.
Great. So pretty soon.
Yes.
And the reaction, have you talked to residents, business owners?
Yes, all the time. I got an open door policy with my residents. I have an office there, and I have monthly meetings.
Great.
And yeah, we have some input. We had some issues going on with one resident's plumbing. They took care of that. But other than that, everything's been going very, very, very well.
That sounds really great. So can you tell us a little bit about what your next plans are in the ward?
Yeah. For me, I'm 4 years out always when it comes to infrastructure. I've been applying for West Florissant. From West Florissant, I must go through several wards, West Florissant up to Highway 70, which is not in my ward, but you don't want to stop it just at your ward. You know, it'll look crazy. You want to make sure it flows all the way up.
So you work
to
with
the
the
next.
alderman and
Yes,
okay.
you must. And we're applying for additional federal funds. We want to do some decorative things on West Florissant as well. We'll have the community input, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And then we're doing some other infrastructures through our community.
Yeah.
On our main thoroughfares.
So you're just always looking for that next thing, or do you sort of have an overall plan?
Yeah, we have an overall plan. We put a plan together back in 2001.
Okay.
It had community input. It's a fluid plan. It's constantly going on, changing. But my job was to take care of the infrastructure and as much housing structure as possible, as far as new rehab and demolition. So no, we're always working, always moving, always looking for additional funding. And I try to do matching funds. I try to match city funds in order to get federal funds. For example, this only ran me maybe 100 to 150,000 to get close to $3 million.
So 100 to 150 of your ward dollars?
Yes, of my ward dollars in order to get this federal dollars.
Okay, yeah.
Which is, that's what you want to stretch your money.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
right.
And you want to do that in everything.
It takes a lot of money, but you're good at figuring out where to get it, it sounds like.
Yeah. I had a lot of help with, you know, as far as working with BPS. I had a great engineer liaison, which is Tim Moffitt. Joe Cuss and John Kohler have been great. And we work with a lot of the outside architect and engineers. Yeah. But we're constantly moving, constantly working. And, you know, even though they think aldermen just meet once a week on a Friday, we work 6, 7 days a week.
Sounds like it. You have to stay on top of all this. You've got a big team and lots of activities.
Oh, absolutely. You must know and understand federal monies in order to apply for them.
Yeah. Good.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like things are very exciting in Ward 27 right now. And
Absolutely.
we thank you, Alderman Carter, for joining us in the studio today. And we thank you, our viewers, for joining us to hear what the latest is going on in St. Louis. And you'll get it right here at STL TV. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.